G'day guys and welcome back. Now you're probably wondering where part 2 of the video about Jesus' resurrection is. It's coming, okay? It's coming. Just shut up. It's coming. It's next week, alright? It's coming next week. This is a remake of last week's video, which just didn't record at all. I don't know why. It's very frustrating. So, it's a flat earth video. I think I'll just leave it at that for the surprise. So, enjoy. So this video is about planes and flat earthers not understanding the basics of flight. In fact, they don't really understand anything. You know this already, so without further ado, let's just dive on in.
Okay, we're told the Earth rotates at 15 degrees per hour, one rotation per day.
Well, it's not 100% accurate, but it's close enough. I mean, 15 degrees per hour, that sounds familiar.
A 15 degree per hour drift.
So with that, let's continue on. Also, before I do continue, these measurements, they're in miles. I don't know miles. I don't know inches and feet. I know meters and kilometers, like the rest of the world. I'll do my best to try and understand what these distances mean. They're probably irrelevant anyway, but let's continue.
If a plane were taking off from the North Pole at a distance of 1 mile from the geographic North Pole or literal axis of rotation of Earth.
Well, it can't because there's no landmass there. That's the first problem. But irrelevant. Let's pretend there's an aircraft carrier parked there, just so you can make this argument. Because it's going to be a bad one. A very, very bad one.
That would be a 6.28 mile circumference. That circumference would cover 6.28 miles in one day, or just about quarter of a mile per hour.
What? 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 If something's... Are you talking about the angular drift like this? Or are you talking about the rotation like this? Because when a mile above something that's rotating, it's not moving. It's stationary. And the wobble takes longer than a day. It takes a full year. So... I mean... This is totally wrong anyway. The Earth rotates way faster than a quarter of a mile per hour. I could basically end this video here because you don't have your facts straight, and I'm gonna have to look up this stuff on Google because that's just... he's gonna make me look stuff up. Alright, you ready? Jump cut. And I'm back. You didn't even notice I was gone, did you? So, the Earth's rotation speed at the pole is 460 meters a second. That's pretty quick, eh? Which is a damn sight faster than a quarter mile. So, I'll put this in terms you can understand. It is 733 miles per hour that it's rotating. It's spinning. Okay, so just so I don't. This information is just totally wrong. I mean, it's narrated by Daniel Pratt, so I don't really expect it to be fantastic information. I expect it to be a lot of gibberish. Speaking of gibberish, Dan, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but if you are, you owe Simon Dan $1 million. I think you should pay him. And you're going to end up owing me $1 million too. I'm just saying.
If a plane takes off from that runway and heads south towards the equator, it must, by mathematical fact, by physics fact, somehow accelerate its angular momentum that as it was taking off from the North Pole was only just about 1/4 mile per hour.
This is where your limited understanding comes in and why your maths is so bad. If one pole, if this is rotating really slow and this is rotating really fast, it's kind of going to get screwed up. There's no other way to say it. The rotation speed at the pole is, it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty much the same at the equator. It's not a difference of 1,000 miles an hour like you're claiming. It's pretty much the same. But let's see where you're going with this.
Must somehow, when it's going to land at the equator, have accelerated over 1,037 miles per hour of angular momentum.
No. I've got a good meme for this.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
There it was. Angular momentum. You see, it doesn't need to overcome angular momentum because it would already have it. That's the whole point. You see, as it takes off, it's still, I mean, a mile high. That's 1.6 kilometers. That's not very high at all. But it's still moving with the Earth. It's still within that gravitational field. Nothing has changed. It's not like the plane takes off and suddenly the Earth spins underneath it. It doesn't work that way. How you don't understand this is beyond me. I cannot simplify it anymore for anyone to understand. If you jump on a train is moving, and if you jump, you land in the same spot. That train is going 100 kilometers an hour. You jump, you land in the same spot. You don't jump and splutter on the wall, do you? No. Otherwise, there'd be a shitload of lawsuits against train companies, and trains would go out of business pretty fast. Hell, you could do the same thing on a plane. You can jump on a plane that's going at probably about 999 kilometers an hour, just under 1,000 kilometers an hour. You can jump, and you're not going to splutter on the back wall. You will move with the plane. So the plane flying on the Earth is going to move with the rotation of the Earth. That's... Do you ever want to reach through the screen and just punch someone in the face? Like, just to get the information into them? Because they don't understand the most basic principles of anything. I'm willing to bet they still use Velcro shoes. Let's continue.
It has never been proven physically that planes do this. There has never been an instrumentation, reading, or measurement provided to prove that this is what airplanes do.
Because it's not what airplanes do. I'd just be going over what I just said. I know you guys watching, I know you get it. Because you're not the dumb. But I would like flat earthers to be able to watch this and go, oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. The world's not flat. All my assumptions have been wrong all this whole time. Just because something looks this way doesn't mean it is this way. But that's not going to happen now, is it? Moving on.
When flying from north to south towards the equator, and vice versa, a plane taking off from the equator is carrying 1,037 miles per hour angular lateral momentum.
Wait, angular or lateral? Which one? Because they're kind of different. The math is different for each one. And not that it matters. Because your understanding is completely wrong. Planes fly over the globe all the time. I'm willing to bet there's going to be some really stupid arguments in this video.
And must somehow lose over 1,000 miles per hour of that angular momentum in order for it to land safely at the North Pole, that is again only moving at 1/4 of a mile per hour. This proves the Earth is stationary and is...
No, it proves that you don't know jack shit about the rotation speeds of the planet, angular momentum, conservation of momentum, or how to tie your own fucking shoelaces.
Many NASA and other government documents proclaim...
What the fuck does NASA have to do with avionics? NASA doesn't control airports and planes around the world. They're a space agency. They go into space. Sure, they've got planes that they test, but they don't control commercial airways.
When doing flight tests, they assume a flat, stationary plane.
They have to do that because the math is subtly different when you take curvature and all the speeds of the Earth into account. So when you're developing a plane, you assume that the Earth is flat because it makes the math a lot easier. It makes working at the aerodynamics a lot easier. Because if your plane is tiny in comparison to the size of the planet, so you've got a stretch of land. Yes, it's got a curvature to it, but you don't notice it when flying over it. So you assume that it's just flat. It makes the math a lot easier. It makes the engineers' jobs a lot easier. It's just easier all around. It doesn't say that the Earth is flat. It says to assume it. This is what is called cherry picking. And flat earthers are notorious for it. They see one little piece of information, they completely misunderstand what it means, and then they go ahead and misquote it, and we end up here. With me talking to a camera, because no flat earther has the guts to go on Discord and have an actual discussion. If you join a flat earther Discord, me personally, I got kicked within 20 minutes because I disagreed with them. If you don't agree with them, they will kick you. If you join my Discord server and you say something outrageously stupid, you won't be kicked for it. We'll educate you. Join the Discord server. It's way cool. Moving on.
Globe proponents will tell you this is just because it's an easier way to test things without making it complicated, and so the pilots don't have to do all the difficult math.
That's what I just said. And I'm not even an engineer. It's called common sense. pilots have enough to worry about flying a plane without having to worry about stupid little details, minor details, that really don't impact their flights at all. You don't care about the height of a wave on the ocean when you're flying over it, do you? No, you don't. Stupid keyboard.
I would submit to you, because there has never again been any physical proof of their mathematical claims of rotation and conservation of momentum.
What are you talking about? If you get on a plane, you have the proof. If you get on a train, you have the proof. What is it that you want from people? Like, you say there's no proof. There's so much proof. You just can't accept it. So, yeah. Of all the flat earthers, like your Nathan Oakley's, your Eric Dubais, whatever the fuck his name is, I don't care. They're smug. They don't piss you off as much. But Daniel Pratt, he's just got this way that just really grinds my gears. Let's continue.
Much less acceleration or deceleration of angular momentum.
Well, you're not going to get that proof because there is none. Because it's not necessary. It's just... This is why it's frustrating to talk to the camera than it is to talk to the person.
That these planes carry, that it is more likely that the Earth is just flat and stationary, and that's why these government documents state this.
So, because one document says it, well, they probably all say it, like technical manuals say it, but just because they say it in that, it must make it true. When you take everything into account, all the math, all the observations and everything that prove the Earth is a globe, just because something says it in a book or on a piece of paper, it must be true instead. That is a really dumb argument. See my previous video for proof on that.
Until someone can provide mechanical measurement of airplanes either gaining 1,000 miles per hour of angular momentum or losing it going from the equator to the North Pole 1,000 miles an hour of angular momentum. This is proof the Earth is a stationary, level plane, just as the government's own documents state.
No, the only thing it is proof of is your limited understanding of rotational speed of the Earth, cherry picking of government documents, and just overall stupidity. I'm going to assume this is the end of the video, but I'm really liking these planes coming into land. Like, some of these pilots, the skill they've got to be able to land in those conditions. Whew, unbelievable. And he's got this jackass telling us that they can't fly planes around the globe because there is no globe.
Thank you for your time. The Earth is flat, stationary.
Alright, sorry, I got a little bit aggro there. That guy just really grinds my gears, and I don't know why. Well, I mean, stupid people often grind my gears. It's just something that happens. But yes, you should join the Discord server. Even if you're a flat earther, you are welcome there. I am happy to discuss this with you in a normal setting where you won't be ridiculed for what you believe. You will be shown the facts. That is all. So join the Discord server. The link is below, as it is every week. And just like every week, I thank you so much for watching. And as always, a special thank you to Purple Haze, Caustic, and Lisa for their support over on Patreon, as well as the other Patreon supporters. You know who you are. And until next time, friends, don't be a dick. Like Daniel Pratt. At least he's got an appropriate last name. Oh. But then so does Chris Pratt, and he's a good actor.